Have you ever picked up your phone to check one message and suddenly realized that 30 minutes have disappeared? You're not alone. Our phones are designed to grab our undivided attention. And while they're powerful tools, they can also be one of the biggest productivity killers. Smartphone use has become a form of addiction with negative impacts on mental and physical well being. Today, I want to share with you how and why your phone impacts your productivity and how to make your phone work for you instead of against you. Let's start with some interesting statistics. So we touch our phones approximately 2,600 times per day. We spend an average of 3 hours per day on the phone, which adds up to approximately 46 days per year, which is more than a month. 66% of people have nomophobia, an intense fear of being without their phone, and 71% of people sleep with their phone next to them. The mere presence of a cell phone can impair cognitive performance during challenging tasks, as shown in studies where participants were asked to complete tasks that require significant cognitive effort. And at the start, the researcher either left a cell phone or a notebook on the participant's desk. Participants in the cell phone condition performed significantly worse on the difficult tasks compared to those in the notebook condition, which suggests that even the passive presence of a phone is enough to distract and reduce focus during cognitively demanding tasks. Frequent phone users often report problems with executive functioning. That's the set of mental skills like focus, planning, and self-control that help us get things done. Within phone interruptions can delay task completion by up to 4 times. In attention-based tasks with distractions, frequent phone users perform worse and show more activity in the right prefrontal cortex, which is linked to mental effort. It means that their brain is working harder to just stay focused. The right prefrontal cortex is associated with managing cognitive effort and attention control. So heightened activity suggests that the brain is under strain while trying to process competing stimuli and maintain focus. This is concerning because mental effort isn't infinite. It's a resource that can be depleted. The more energy your brain spends managing distractions, the less capacity it has for critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving. Over time, this constant mental strain can lead to mental fatigue, reduced productivity, and even burnout. Essentially, frequent distractions from phone use force the brain to work harder than it should, leaving you drained and less effective in other areas of life. Frequent phone users also struggle more with switching between tasks because they're less able to filter out interference. Everyday attention failures like forgetting what you were doing mid-task are also more common. Frequent phone users also have split visual attention, while less frequent users focus on a single point. They tend to be more impulsive, seek out more sensations, and perform worse on working memory tests. And finally, one of the most researched and well-established connections, the connection between smartphone usage and anxiety. Clearly demonstrated in multiple studies and books. I won't go into too much detail since this has been widely discussed, but if you're interested, get the Anxious Generation book by Jonathan Haidt. He provides a great comprehensive explanation. The evidence is clear. Our phone habits are impacting not just our productivity, but every area of our life, most often in a deleterious way. And while a phone is a valuable tool when we want to stay in touch with friends and family, for the most part, we're not using it to text or call. Most of the time on the phone is actually spent on, drumroll, the apps. Social media, shopping, entertainment, and dating apps monopolize our attention every single day. What's more concerning is that the most used and downloaded apps of 2024 are actually social media apps. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Snapchat. And what's even more concerning is that 3 out of the top 4 apps, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, are owned by the same company, Meta Platforms, formerly known as Facebook. So what is so addicting about these apps? Here, 2 terms are important to understand: platform decay and variable scheduler reinforcement. Platform decay is a term used to describe gradual decline in quality of online products and services over time. Often, algorithms used by the big tech companies prioritize engagement over quality, and so the more time you spend on the platform, the lesser quality of content you will get. And so if the content is getting worse, why are we still doom scrolling? Well, that's when the variable schedule reinforcement comes in. So we become hooked because of the unpredictability of rewards. A variable schedule reinforcement means that rewards, such as interesting reels or likes, are delivered inconsistently and at random intervals. This randomness keeps us scrolling, hoping that the next post will give us the dopamine boost we crave so much. This combination of declining content quality and unpredictable rewards creates a cycle that is so hard to break, keeping us glued to our screens even when we know that this is not the best use of our time. But the good news is that with a few simple changes, you can take back control and get into the productive flow again. First, remove the main trigger, your phone. When you need to focus and do deep work, put your phone in a different room or somewhere where you can't see it, as far away from your desk as possible. Do not rely on your willpower to simply ignore the notifications, because we both know that will not happen. Note that turning on a silent mode, yet keeping your phone on your desk, will not work. As I discussed earlier, having your phone next to you impairs your cognitive capacity, so just put it away for a couple of hours. Second, turn off all of your non-essential notifications, especially for social media apps, and put your phone on the do not disturb mode while working. Do you really need to know the second someone likes your photo on Instagram or comments on a Facebook post? Not really. And although these notifications might be somewhat relevant, social media apps will often send you irrelevant notifications just to keep you scrolling, such as, here's a reel you might like. But each time I clicked, I saw some of the most boring, low quality videos in the universe. So please don't fall for that and mute all of the unnecessary alerts. And I'm not saying that you should stop checking your phone altogether, not at all. I check my phone a couple of hours during a workday, but it is on the do not disturb mode until I finish work. Next, set screen time limits for the apps that consume most of your time. Tools like screen time on iPhones or digital well-being on Androids are great for this. You might be surprised at how much time you're actually spending on these apps, and cutting back even a little can make a huge difference. A note on the time limit: some apps let you bypass the time limit within the app. For example, Instagram gives you an option to ignore limit for today. If you find yourself continuously scrolling, even after you've reached the limit, you can simply delete or offload the app and re-download it later in the week. Next, rewire the habit loop. When you feel the urge to scroll, redirect it to something productive, like reading a book or newspaper or journaling. So if you want to open TikTok to self-distract, you might as well open a Wall Street Journal app or another quality news platform and actually learn something new and useful. Or go take a walk around the block. Some sunlight and physical movement will give you more satisfaction than watching someone's latest Amazon haul. One of the reasons why social media is so addictive is because it puts us in this state of cognitive ease. It's no surprise that after a long day at work or school, places that generally require high cognitive effort, we prefer distractions that require minimal cognitive effort. Social media platforms are designed to exploit this by offering endless streams of easily digestible and visually appealing content. It doesn't really require you to think that much. And you can just go on autopilot and enjoy the latest reels, which in the long run will probably make you feel lonelier and more depressed. So instead, opt in for tasks that are more high yield, still on the lighter end of cognitive effort. So meditate, journal, or call a friend. This will recharge you much faster and in a more sustainable way than any app. And finally, numerous productivity apps promise to streamline tasks and boost efficiency, but they often have the opposite effect. And I don't mean standard productivity apps like calendar, notes, or reminders. They are very useful. I'm referring to specialized productivity apps that claim to revolutionize how we work but often fail to deliver. These include elaborate task managers, habit trackers, or workflow automation tools that require significant time to set up, learn, and maintain. Instead of simplifying workflows, they overcomplicate simple tasks with endless features, notifications, and integrations that demand constant attention. The effort required to maintain and organize them eats away at the real work that needs to be done. And at the end of the day, they're still apps, and most of them need your engagement to grow. For the most part, you don't really need to log your tasks or get an inspiring quote to get started. You just need to get started, even if you don't feel like it. Because focus, energy, and inspiration generally come after you start a task, not before, which is also known as a state of flow. Remember that your phone isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool. And like any tool, it's all about how you use it. By setting boundaries and being intentional, you can turn wasted hours into productive time and take back control of your day. If you found these tips helpful, please share this video with someone who might need it too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.